Hello, this is Hi-Fi Finder. Today I wanted to make a video on the Sony DAT machine. As you can see, it is digital analog tape deck. This model is a DTC-A8. It came out in 1995. It has a maximum sampling rate of 24-bit, 48 kilohertz. It had several selections you can make: 48 kilohertz, 44.1 like CD, and then even lower 32 kilohertz for longer playtime. This unit is it was used widely in studios in the early days, late 80s and early 90s. It was used for recording studios, and it was used widely, especially in home studios and also professional studios a lot, to make recordings, which was really amazing at the time because a lot of people had to go into these big expensive studios to record. When this came out, you didn't really have to do all that. You could just get one of these units and plug in and start recording professionally. Excuse me. Well, not necessarily just professionally, it's digital. So at the time that was very advanced compared to analog equipment that was more compact home studio, which was less quality. This one, when you recorded on that, you knew you were getting a very clean digital sound. No hissing, no noise from analog equipment. So it was a big change for the recording industry. But then as it was coming out and gaining popularity, a lot of the unions in the United States, the music unions, and a lot of the studios, not the studios, but the music industry were fighting back against Sony because they were saying this was being used as to pirate music. So you were able to make a one-for-one digital copy from, say, a CD. And the music industry was saying that they wanted Sony to stop making these because it was being used to pirate music, and a lot of the unions were trying to force Sony to stop making these units. Eventually had to succumb to the demands, and it slowly faded out. And then which came after that was more DAWs and recording in computers, and eventually this was phased out. At the time too, the CD recorder was out too, and so Sony had to stop making them because of that problem that they were having. So it was very excuse me, it was very popular unit when it came out because of the fact that it was very compact, and it was high quality, even higher quality sampling rate than CD. So as you can see, this is the DAT tape, which looks kind of a bit like the cassette, compact cassette tape. As you can see, I'll open it up for you. This is there's two pins here. You just got to press them and slide down, and as you can see, it exposes the wheels here, and you can open up this part, and as you can see, there's the tape. So, and you just have to press the pins back to get it back. As you can see, it's very similar to its predecessor, the cassette, and also it has the tab, like I mentioned in my other video, so you could protect copyright, not copyright, but protect recordings so nobody re-records over it, because these were, it was digital, but you could re-record over it and use it many times, these DAT tapes, which was very amazing at the time, because you could save money. Instead of buying multiple tapes, you could use that same tape, and once you were done with this tape recording, you would give it to a studio, and they would either put it in another format or in the computer or whatever. So this medium was very popular, and it worked very similar inside the inner workings like a VCR. There was a rotating head that would go against the tape inside this cassette, and what it would do is the information is not just straight. So to save space on the tape, they would cut up the information on angles, and the head would rotate, and then stream that all together, and there you go. You'd have your digital digital music right there. So this unit, as you can see, is very similar to a lot of the physical media of the day. It has stop, play, pause, fast forward, rewind, and next track or the track before. As you can see, you can record with this unit. Some were players, some were recorders. So the main feature of this was the recording, and as you can see, you have recording, record mute, record level for left and right separately. And what was cool about this is you have a headphones out, which is very convenient. You don't have to hook it up to all this equipment to hear what you're recording and how's the record going. So it is quite a very amazing unit. Now, okay, let's show you how basically how it operates. So here you go, the door's open. So as you can see, they come with these nice cases, very similar to the cassette case, and basically you just have to insert it kind of on a weird angle, and then you just push it in all the way, and then you press close. And you see now it's doing its thing. Okay, it sees where it is. So the way this tape, this DAT player worked is that it was similar to the cassette, but if you wanted to find a track with the old form of, you know, the compact cassette, you'd have to rewind, fast forward to the next track, but you wouldn't be able to know where it is, so you'd always have to stop and press play and hear where the next track ends and begins, and it's tedious a little to find the next track. It's not as easy as a CD player where you just press next track and it goes. With the cassette, you had to actually hear where the next track. Sometimes when I was young, I'd cheat and I'd press play and fast forward at the same time, and it would just speed up because it was fast forwarding, but you hear, and then when there was no sound, then I'd press stop and I knew I was at the next track. But some units at the time would listen for you, and when there was a silence between two tracks, it would stop and press play, and that's how you knew you were on your next track. With this unit, what it does is it has a table of contents similar to a CD. So it knows where every track is on the cassette. So when you press the next track, it would automatically go to the starting of the next track because it knew exactly where it was along the tape. So as you can see here, it knows which track it is. We press play, and there you go. You can see the meters jumping back and forth. This is a nice fluorescent display on this unit. It's very, very, very nice. It's all steel construction, and it weighs quite a bit. So as you can see, the meters are going, and you know, you can see your left and right levels. So you know, and there's that red place here is the over limit. It says over. So you don't want to keep your recording level below that, because if you, like I've mentioned in my other videos, if you go over, you could start distorting. Not like analog, like the cassette where you could put it to its max. You can't do that with the digital. You try and keep it in its range. So this was really quite a unit, and especially knowing that you could record at 48 kilohertz, which was higher than the CD. This was at the time really serious equipment. At the time, a lot of people would record at 48 hertz, but from what I remember, a lot of people would just stick to 44.1 because it would be easier to convert it to CD, because CD was 44.1. Because even if you sampled at a higher rate, once you got into the studio and you wanted to make CDs, they had to sample it down. So you know, there could be issues with the conversion, and depending on the studio and what equipment they have to do it. So a lot of times people would record this unit and send the tape off to the mastering studio, and the mastering studio would take this, and then it would make a digital. They would make a digital file out of this, convert it to be put into onto CD or whatever record or whatever they wanted to make you know, the physical media at the time of that time. That's what they would take this and make the this would be the kind of the master, and they would make other forms of media out of it, like cassettes, records, or CDs. So at the time, these were used a lot in studios, as I said, way before they had a lot of DOS systems and the computers, where now everybody just uses their, you know, their home studio within their laptop or whatever. Before that, this was it. So this was your go-to, and they also had a larger tape that looked like a VCR tape, and they were able to record also. I think that was before these came out. They were larger tape cassettes, and they were making digital recordings with that, multi-track recordings. So you could record multiple tracks separated on the tape. This one is just a 2-channel, so kind of a master tape of whatever you're recording. So at the time these were pretty pricey, and now they're pretty pricey again. Reliability, I wouldn't say is the best because there's so many mechanical parts in it. A lot of these units are non-functional and have issues with the door opening and closing, or, you know, engaging the cassette, or the head failing. So you know, at this age, a lot of them are not doing too well. But you know, it's still a unique and important part of recording history. So I just wanted to make that video and present the DAT machine by Sony. They developed something that was you know, cutting edge, and a lot of and at the time of those years, and this came out in 1995. Excuse me. Sony was ahead of the game. They were totally ahead of the game because there was not too many other companies that were going at that pace. You know, they were coming out with the CD, the CDR. You know, they were coming out with this DAT player. They came out with a whole bunch of physical media. I mean, they were a powerhouse, and this is one of their one of the examples of how far they went, you know, in developing technology for audio at that time. So I gotta give it to Sony. They really made good equipment, great technology, and even getting, you know, pushed around by the music industry because of how good this equipment was at recording. So I hope you enjoyed the video today, and if you did, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you very much. See you around.